Years ago, September 11th, a retired Army lieutenant colonel was in Ohio to secure artifacts for his military museum in Missouri.
Frank Flesher enlisted in 1952 and did 2 tours in Vietnam and was stationed at one time in the Pentagon. When he first saw where the planes crashed in Washington, he knew almost immediately what has happened.
Well, his story tonight as we remember September 11th.
It stands simply against the wall in the corner of the National Military Heritage Museum. No protective or fancy case, just the 6 feet of beam, bent and scratched, lifted from the rubble at the World Trade Center.
I wrote a letter to the mayor of New York City and to Pennsylvania about getting a piece of steel, and I was thinking of a little piece to put in a display case.
Instead, the mayor wrote back saying they had approved his request, 200 pounds of steel. It took a yellow freight truck to haul it back to Missouri. The company shipped it for free.
I've had people come in and touch it and cry. And it's very moving to people who remember where they were on September 11th.
Retired Lieutenant Colonel Frank Flesher was on a trip in Ohio looking at military equipment for his museum. He knew as soon as he saw the images on TV, the plane hit the Pentagon where his colleagues and friends worked.
They were all in a meeting and a plane hit right where their offices were.
Flesher, an officer and military historian, says the attack on the World Trade Center killed almost as many civilians in New York as the total casualties at Pearl Harbor. He says the military museum was started to teach young people and adults about military heritage.
In our opinion, it'll make them better citizens.
After the beam arrived, Flesher put up 4 paper flags around town to let visitors sign them. 1 hangs at the museum. The other 3 are in New York, the Pentagon, and Pennsylvania.
Flesher hopes to raise enough money to build a display that includes the names of those who died in the attack on the World Trade Center. You can learn more about that and the Military Heritage Museum at NBCActionNews.com under Spotlight.